Hello everyone and welcome back. This is Doc at Padama and this time we are going to discuss how to pass your research defense in 5 easy steps. So hopefully I would be able to outline these steps in our video discussion today to help you pass and give you a fighting chance to pass your research defense. But before we start, please subscribe to my YouTube channel at Doc at Padama and click that notification bell to alert you when a new video has been uploaded just like this one. So let's start with the first step. The first step is prepare. Now, what do you need to prepare? Specifically, your manuscript. The manuscript is a document that represents your research. Everything that you need for you to be able to present your research is contained within the manuscript. So this will be the center of your discussion during your defense. Your panelist has a copy or supposed to have a copy or given a copy of this manuscript. Your advisor in your research defense or in your research writing will have to have a copy of this manuscript. You, as the defendant of the study, are allowed or will be allowed to secure a copy, hold a copy during the defense. So again, the manuscript is the center of your defense. You are defending the content, the idea, the knowledge, the recommendation, and all of this are contained within your manuscript. So make sure the basic idea and the central idea of this is make sure when you prepare your manuscript, this is already organized and complete. So double check the content of your manuscript. Read your manuscript. Read your manuscript and make sure you are familiar with the content of these manuscript and the relevance of these content to each other. Remember that the content of your manuscript should cascade with one another. Every part of your manuscript is related and relevant to each other. Example, the title of your research should cascade to the statement of the problem of your research, and this statement of the problem should cascade to the instrument that you are using. So this is what we mean by cascading and establishing the relevance of each part of your research to the other part of the research. And you need to understand these relevances with each other, with each element. The second that you need to prepare is your presentation. So usually this is done through the use of PowerPoint or slide presentation or any software or application that utilizes slide presentation. So make sure that you do not saturate and overwhelm the slides with the content and information of your research. Usually, in a PowerPoint presentation, you just place important, salient information needed for your discussion. Second, there are limited parts that you need to present during the defense. So examples of this is, of course, the first one that you need to present is the title of your research. What is your research about? And then after that, a brief background of your research. A short and brief background. Okay, so that I have reiterated enough. Short and brief background of the study. And then after that, you present the statement of the problem of your research. Or before the statement of the problem, if the panelists would request, they would also like to hear the theory that you used, which is the basis of your research and so on and so forth. And then after that, the instrument that you use in your study or in your research. So these are examples of the content of a presentation that is supposed to be seen in your during your defense. Okay? So again, these are the things, these are the important things that you need to prepare during your defense: the manuscript and the presentation, and how are you supposed to present the manuscript, how are you supposed to review the manuscript, its content, including the presentation if you're going to use PowerPoint for this particular part of your defense. Okay, the second one that you need to prepare is your plan, or the second step that you need to consider is to develop a plan. Here, you need to organize your thoughts. So make sure that you are familiar with all the parts of your research in a way that when a question is asked, you would readily know where to refer that the answer to that particular question in your manuscript. Again, organizing your thoughts means you are supposed to be familiar or where to find or look for the answer for that particular question when a panel asks you. So example, the first question given to you by the panel is your motivation for conducting the study. So what is your motivation for conducting the study? So planning is already expecting a question and preparing on your answer for that particular question by being aware and being familiar on where to look for that particular answer. Okay, so example, if that is the question, what is your motivation for this study? You will readily find the answer in what we call the rationale of the study, which is supposed to be located at the last paragraph of the background of the study. So again, if you are asked for the motivation of your study, and you have already developed a plan for this by familiarizing yourself where to look for the answer, you'd be able to find this in what we call the rationale of the study. And where will you find the rationale of the study? Rationale meaning the reason for conducting the study. So where will you find the rationale of the study? It is supposed to be on the last paragraph of the background of the study. Okay, so this is what we mean by planning by organizing your thoughts. Okay, so basically this is the concept that you need to do: develop a plan, prepare a plan so that if a question is asked, you will readily know where to access, where to look for that particular question, the answer to that particular question. Okay, the third step is what we call, let's start with a new page. The third step is proofreading. So you proofread your manuscript. You proofread your manuscript. There are small, minuscule errors that will still be seen in your manuscript during your actual defense. So this may be grammatical, technical, mechanical, and so on and so forth. Sometimes this can be the content or the actual content of your study, of your research proposal, including citations that are not reflected in the references or bibliography. So these are part of what you need to look for when you proofread your manuscript. So again, go through your manuscript from the cover page up to the last page or last part of your research and try to read them, if possible, every line of your research, so that you are sure and assured that this is what you really need to present. Everything is correct, everything is sound in terms of grammar, spelling, typographical error. You would be able to minimize them before you face your panelists during the defense. Okay, so again, in checking your manuscript, make sure you maintain another concept is maintain consistency. Okay, another issue in your manuscript is that the terms used in the title does not reflect the content that you are presenting. So make sure that all of these terminologies that you use will be consistent all throughout your research defense. Okay, so that's the third one. The fourth one, or the fourth step, is practice. What do you need to practice? Review possible questions and how you should answer them. Review possible questions that will come out, emerge during the defense, and practice how you should answer them. How are you going to say them literally? And then practice your pronunciation, how you're going to verbalize them. Because during defense, especially if you are if you are not a native speaker of the language that will be required of you during the defense, you'll be having a hard time verbalizing your thoughts. So when you practice, you'd be able to master these particular part and skill of presenting your defense, especially in the use of language. So aside from having knowledge with regard to the content of your manuscript, you also need to practice the use of language. So practice not only in front of a mirror, but within your mind during your reading. Try to go through and run it down in your mind and try to think the answer silently in your mind, and then try to go through it over and over again. So that's the only way you can master on how to answer these questions. Okay, the next one is positive. Okay, so again, let's put a brief description under practice. This one, based from our discussion earlier, is review possible questions that will come out during your defense. I have a separate video for this in my YouTube channel, both in English and Tagalog. So you can check that out after this particular video. Now, what do we mean by be positive? Okay, this is the last step. This is anchored on the law of attraction. You are what you think. So if you, it is okay to be nervous. It is okay to have fear in your heart. But if in your mind, you are already contemplating on failure, then there is a large possibility that you fail. So it's either you think of failure or you think of success. Okay? So again, it's either you think of failing your defense or you think of succeeding in your defense, and with this particular mindset, you would be able to accomplish whatever you think. So make sure that you place this particular mindset of yours on passing your defense. But you will not be able to manifest or do this if you do not do the other steps that we have discussed, which is prepare, plan, proofread, and practice. So you would be able to manifest all of this, including your mindset, if you have gone through the first 4 steps that we have discussed. Maintain a positive attitude, maintain a positive mindset, and you would be able to overcome all of these challenges given to you during your defense and eventually pass your research defense. So this is where we end our discussion. Again, thank you very much, everyone. I have a more comprehensive discussion on specific questions given during defense in my YouTube channel. Again, these are both in Tagalog and English version. I hope you check them out. And I hope to see you on our next video, everyone. Thank you. God bless and stay safe. Bye!